one of the first things I want to talk about today is what does it mean to be empathic? And being empathic just means that you can perceive and sense and feel what other people are feeling and sometimes thinking and feeling. Some people call it a form of being psychic, but it's when you hear the word psychic, most people think you read their thoughts or you just know things that are about to happen. It's not necessarily what being an empath is, although because empaths have such a strong and sensitive emotional center, they can often pick up on things that if something's about to go wrong, they can pick up on it, or people's moods, you know, things like that. So you can definitely read the temperature of an atmosphere that you walk into, and you can kind of know how people are feeling, what the energy is like. And this isn't something, you know, supernatural or extraordinary. Everybody has this ability. It's just that some people are a lot more sensitive to it than others. Some people have a really sensitive antenna, so to speak. The interesting thing that I want to talk about in this first video, and this is going to be a short video, but just about how normal and completely makes, let's see, almost, I don't want to use the word scientific, but it makes complete sense when you understand the quantum world, why someone would be empathic. When you understand that on a quantum level, there's actually no space. There's no static space between anybody. We are all connected, and we know this now. So somebody who's empathic, it would make sense that if you have sort of an extra sensitive antenna, so to speak, that you could at any time plug into what someone else is thinking or feeling and be able to feel that in your own body. There's different ways that empaths translate that information. I think the most common is clairsentience, where you actually feel it physically in your body, but there's other forms of empathy as well, which we will be talking about. But the main idea is that you can sense what other people are thinking and feeling, and really this has to do with being able to tune into a certain frequency. Now usually this is due to, for empaths especially, most empaths are unskilled. A lot of empaths have been through a lot of trauma in the past and haven't healed themselves. And so often what they're doing is tuning into frequencies of people who are also have been through trauma or similar things. And for those of us who are the helping kind of empath, who always want to go out and save somebody or help somebody, we're kind of inadvertently helping ourselves because we have our own unhealed wounds and our own unhealed issues that we're somehow picking up on in others. And the reason why we're able to pick that up is because that vibration exists within us as well, whether we're aware of it or not. The main thing that I'm going to be focusing on in these first few videos is how absolutely crucial it is for anyone who's empathic, anyone in general, but especially someone who's empathic, to clear their emotional center. Not only to clear, but to transmute energy and to constantly be aware of what they're feeling inside, what's going on with them, to be able to identify the emotions that are going on with them and know whether they are theirs or they're somebody else's. And also to be able to remove identifying with those emotions. You can identify what the emotions are, but not identify them as the fact that they're your identity. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. Not identifying with them. So I'm going to be talking about this a lot because before I even get into any other information, I just think it's absolutely crucial that we understand this. And something I learned from my class that I just finished up, the Empowering Empathic Abilities class online, is that most people didn't know how to check in with themselves. Most of us, and this is true with empaths across the board, especially unskilled and unhealed empaths, you often just feel lost. You often feel like you have no idea what's actually going on inside of you. You often feel invisible in a room because you're so busy tuning into everyone else and exploring everyone else's auric field that you have no idea how you actually feel, what's actually going on with you. And most empaths I have found are so out of touch with themselves. Because they're so in touch with everybody else and what's going on with everybody else. So often they can be very unaware of their own blockages, their own issues, their own emotions. So this class, Empowering Your Empathic Abilities, is hugely about understanding yourself, really having self-awareness, have an elevated self-awareness, and being able to understand that as an empath, you have a really strong emotional center, and it's part of how you've chosen to come into this incarnation and to grow and have experiences. You are an experiencer of emotionality, so you go into emotions, experience them, and if you're healthy and clear inside, you can come back out of them and clear your center always. Keep your emotional center as like clear, still water. And I'm going to go into this in other videos. But the point of this challenge is to help you be able to empower your own empathic abilities and be able to and be able to identify what's going on with you, to really heal yourself and to understand what it is you're doing as an empath, why it is that you pick up on other people's emotions and feelings, and to understand that it's not a curse, that it can actually be a superpower, and that when you learn how to clear and transmute energy and really keep your emotional center clear and be aware of your own blockages and heal yourself within, you can actually create a really kick-ass life for yourself, because you can be a master manifester. And we'll be going into that later in these videos. But for this video, I just want you to understand what the direction of this this challenge is going to be, and why the first few videos coming up is going to be all about healing, self-healing, going within, identifying what's going on with you. I'm going to give you some tips and tools and techniques to do that, and then we'll go into more what you can do with your empathic abilities and why. So we'll be covering even how your body deals with it. Most empaths are processing such an extreme amount of information all the time that their bodies have a hard time keeping up with them. So a lot of empathic people will carry extra weight on them, or have just a myriad of health issues within their body, because again, they're not clearing energy and they're receiving so much information all the time and their body just can't handle it. So I will go into the weight gain aspect. There's just a lot of things we'll be going into, and I hope it'll be really informative and really helpful for all of us. Please keep your comments below. Keep questions and anything you feel like I'm not covering, just go ahead and comment below on the videos, because this isn't a class where I won't be able to interact every day and answer every question, but I will be reading all the comments, and I'll try to touch on any main themes that come up for people. So this is just an intro to what the challenge is going to be like. Just check, you're gonna have to come back to YouTube every day, to my channel, to check for the video for that day. I'll try to have them up by 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time every day, but that may not always be the case. But there will be a video every day. That's my intention anyway, unless something happens. But yeah, so I'm excited to go on this journey with you together. If you need any more information about what I do, about my online classes or any of my other services, you can go to chakracenter.org, and that's where I have all the information about me. Alright, well, I'm excited to go on this challenge with you, and I love you guys, and let me know if you have any questions. Ciao.